Hey. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be doing our news roundup for this week. And for WWE, mostly, obviously, I'll try to include news with the probably big AEW news, big title changes from other promotions. Just generally big news, but a lot of the news will come from WWE because that's the main thing I cover. Also, if you haven't followed my Twitter at Crispy Wrestling, that's where the majority of my news will come from. And if you guys want to follow me on Instagram for Crispy Wrestling, we do a lot of Dakota Kai content over there, but that would be really appreciated. But follow me on Twitter because it gets real fun over there. But to start with, obviously we're gonna start with Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown because both shows have sold out for this week, and this is very, I'm not going to really say surprising because it is the weeks leading up to SummerSlam, and SummerSlam has got a really good build for it. I think we can all agree that the build to SummerSlam has been really good. But Raw this week is in Atlanta, Georgia. It's Cody Rhodes' country, and Cody Rhodes is literally plastered over Monday Night Raw. Obviously, Brock Lesnar's on Raw, but I mean, I'm sure Cody Rhodes' hometown is going to want to see Cody Rhodes get hit by 5 F5s leading up to SummerSlam. And I'm pretty sure that Cody versus Brock will be made official in Cody Rhodes' hometown. Makes a lot of sense. But Monday Night Raw is looking good. You got the Alpha Academy versus the Viking Raiders as well. You've got Rhea Rip. You've got the Judgment Day on for 2 hours. 2 out of the 3 hours of the show. I cannot wait. Also, you've got Friday Night SmackDown, which takes place in one of WWE's home bases, Orlando, which is obviously the spot of the Performance Center. That is sold out as well. And obviously, we've got a big show. We got the Fatal 4-Way. You've got Roman and Jay going face to face, and a lot more on the number one brand going in wrestling right now. It's good to see both shows sold out, and obviously the resale tickets that are for SmackDown, those will go faster than your mom's cookies. So obviously it is so good to see both shows sell out. And right now WWE is having no problem selling tickets. SummerSlam will probably be a sellout. I mean, SummerSlam will be a sellout no matter who you want to talk to. And WWE is really thriving right now. Even like live shows that are not even televised, tickets are flying off the shelves. Next up, we've got news about Slammiversary, Impact Slammiversary, which is Impact's version of WrestleMania. Trinity, a.k.a. Naomi, won the women's knockout title versus Deonna Purrazzo in a great match last night. Also, why did I have Mercedes Moné on the screen, you ask? Well, it's because the success of both women thriving outside. Mercedes Moné walked into stardom like literally she was the CEO, which is literally her gimmick. And she literally won the title, which I'm so proud of her. Obviously, there's a lot of controversy around her beating Kairi Sane, but what's not controversial is that she is thriving, and that there shouldn't really be any debate at all if she was right to leave WWE. Obviously, there's a lot of room, but I mean, looking at Monet right now, it's hard to argue. Also, Trinity also is on top of the Impact women's wrestling world, which is honestly in debate for the best women's division of all of wrestling. I mean, the Knockouts women's division in Impact Wrestling is seriously loaded with a lot of unique matchups. So seeing both of these women at the top of their game, it's really, really good to see. And as even me, who mainly covers WWE, I love seeing them succeed. They deserve it. Next up is Kalal Atawi. I maybe said that wrong. I'm not that good with names of Stardom talent, but obviously she's a pretty big free agent who has showed up on AEW before, and apparently she has openly said she wants to join AEW. In an interview with Wrestling with Honor, she said that she would love to join AEW and be a part of the women's division. Back in December, in an interview, according to Fightful, that Atawi's translator who gave the interview reportedly said that she did not want to join WWE. Now, if WWE called, she would decline. So apparently, Atawi's got her eyes set on AEW. And I hear a lot of people complain about the AEW women's division being bad, but her joining would also help it. So I really don't get that kind of thing. And I think WWE, I don't know WWE still got a lot of free agents out there. I would love to see Kyrie. I think Kyrie Sane back in WWE, especially with the EO and Oscar triangle, would be a very, very good signing for WWE, and obviously be very good timing. But Atawa, I think her being in AEW would be good, and to help a women's division in AEW which has no direction, and I tell you no direction. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see what will happen with Toni Storm. But when I tell you there's no consistent storylines besides the Outcasts, there's no consistent storylines. Next up, we've got the Owen Hart Foundation tournament, and obviously the men's winner was Ricky Starks. He upset CM Punk last night. Yeah, it was last night, and a lot of people are alluding to the way that Ricky Starks won could be a heel turn, and I don't really care. I think Ricky Dicky Starks as a heel would be really, really good, and I would really love to see it. And obviously, I think obviously CM Punk, he could be a heel too. I mean, Ricky and CM Punk are both guys that can go back and forth and still get a good crowd reaction. And obviously, since AEW has been in Canada for almost a month straight, CM Punk has been getting consistently booed, and Ricky Starks has been consistently cheered. But I think Ricky Starks is one of those guys that can flick it like a light switch. He could be a babyface, he could be a heel. I think Ricky Starks will still get the majority of cheers. And also, this is a big win for Ricky Starks. Glad to see him win something big. Also, we've got Willow Nightingale winning the Owens Hart Foundation tournament for the women's side, and I gotta say that's really, really good. Willow has had a very positive 2023. Her winning the New Japan Women's Strong Women's title. I said women's twice, but I'm not good at pronouncing titles from New Japan, sorry. But Willow Nightingale won. Good to see her win. I thought Ruby Soho would have been a good winner because she lost in the finals last year. But this leads to a good storyline. Ruby winning on the third attempt, finishing her story. But Willow Nightingale, good to see her win. And hopefully this leads to something. Hopefully they don't treat the Owen Hart Foundation as just like, okay, they won a tournament. Have both winners get pushes, because I think that's what it should mean. Next up, obviously the main talking point from AEW Collision last night was the 58-minute tag team banger between FTR, one of the best tag teams in the world, and soon to be one of the best tag teams in the world, Bullet Club Gold. 58 minutes of straight genius. At the beginning of the match, FTR looked like they were on their way to losing the titles, but FTR rallied to win 2 straight falls to win the tag team titles back, or to retain the tag team titles. Obviously, FTR have just proven time and time again that they are one of the pillars of tag team wrestling across any promotion. And they are just, they're killing it right now. And obviously, not only that this match was tag team match of the year, but it was one of the best tag team matches in years. So if you haven't gone back and watched it, please go back and watch it. And I'm not kidding. People are like, oh, why would I go back and watch a 58-minute match that I'm not watching live? This one is worth it. After 20 minutes, you'll be like, oh yeah, that kid was right. This match is honestly a banger. Next up is Eric Young, and this is pretty interesting because a lot of people, including myself, thought Eric Young was just off of television for some random reason, maybe personal reason. But Eric Young is out of WWE. A lot of absolutely sudden developments happened about Eric Young, about how he left WWE, because now Eric Young, we're not getting that Sanity reunion, or maybe an attempt at a Sanity reunion, because yes, Eric Young is back in Impact. He's back home, and he was the partner of Scott D'Amore last night. Obviously, it's good to see Eric Young back home. Impact really treats him right, and it's a place that he really feels happy in, and it feels like he's a main event caliber player. I'm not saying that as disrespect, it's legitimately true. And I think WWE did have plans for Eric Young, and I'm pretty sure that not a Sanity reunion, but a crazy gimmick, I could probably guess was on the list of one of those plans. But obviously, good to see Eric Young back in Impact. It's kind of a bummer that he's not in WWE, but I mean, if Vince is back, if he, obviously it said that he didn't want to be in WWE because of Vince and the Endeavor deal, so I gotta have my full respect out to Eric Young. Next up is probably the most bummer news of the video. Elton Prince has suffered a separated shoulder, and obviously this is big news because Pretty Deadly is in the midst of their biggest run. They just lost tag team titles, so obviously Pretty Deadly needs to go back on a winning streak and continue to stay upright. And Elton Prince suffered a separated shoulder, which absolutely sucks. A lot of people are wondering what will happen with Pretty Deadly. I don't think you can put Kit Wilson by himself. I know a lot of people would love to see that, but I think Pretty Deadly just work as the two of them, just not the other way around. I mean, they could put Kit Wilson in singles matches, but I don't necessarily think he's gonna win any of them. But Elton Prince, hope he gets back soon. A separated shoulder could be back soon if he doesn't get surgery. But if he gets surgery, he probably will be out for a month plus. Hopefully, it's not long because Pretty Deadly are one of the best things going on the main roster when it comes to call-ups, and Pretty Deadly are easily getting over with the crowd. They're having an easy time on the main roster in terms of getting crowd reactions and all that, which is obviously the biggest jumpstart to anybody who gets called up to the main roster. Next up is a personal discussion about SummerSlam returns. Which one? This is going to be my question to you in the comments. Who do you want to return at SummerSlam? Do you want Bray Wyatt to return? Me, personally, I think Bray Wyatt will probably be back before the turn of the year. Now, Bray Wyatt, I would love to see Bray Wyatt. A lot of people don't like Bray Wyatt's gimmick or anything. But I do want to generally see Bray Wyatt back in the WWE fold because I feel like it's good for WWE that he's back. A lot of people may disagree. But I feel like we need some of those Bray Wyatt storylines in my life. Also, I think the main return that everyone is looking forward to is Randy Orton. Randy Orton is obviously the number one return on the docket so far. Randy Orton's been out for a year plus after a very serious spinal injury he had to get surgery for. And now all the updates on Randy Orton have been nothing but positive, and this has led to the official rumors getting underway that he could return. And obviously SummerSlam is the second biggest event of the year besides WrestleMania, so what other perfection would that be? Because of obviously SummerSlam is the biggest pay-per-view of returns, it seems like. Having the biggest return be the biggest possible return at SummerSlam, especially with a little bit of an Intercontinental Champion Gunther running around. Next up, we have about the Hurt Business. My thoughts about the Street Profits joining up Bobby Lashley. I love it personally. Now, Cedric and Shelton are free agents. They can go anywhere. They can go on Raw, SmackDown. Heck, they can go on NXT. They can go in NXT and try to compete for the tag team gold there. But Humberto and Angel Garza already had them beat there. But, I mean, Bobby Lashley with the Street Profits, Triple H is cooking something like Albert Einstein in a meth lab, because I swear to God, that is genius. Now, a lot of people think that Shelton and Cedric could be the people, but I don't think they are going to be, which is sad because obviously the Hurt Business should have lasted longer, and Cedric and Shelton kind of got screwed there, because after the Hurt Business broke up, it pretty much broke them. But obviously, following up that is the potential of Carmelo Hayes. And obviously, Carmelo Hayes could end up being on his last stretch of NXT Championship, with Ilya Dragunov clearly deserving of the NXT Championship. Would Carmelo Hayes be a good fit in the Hurt Business? I think I would rather see him as a singles competitor. Carmelo Hayes has got a feud with the Judgment Day, but also you got to think about the Hurt Business being Carmelo Hayes' faction. Also, people are talking about MVP being involved when Trick Williams is also there. There's so many questions, but all I know is that the Street Profits pairing with Bobby Lashley, Triple H is just cooking. Next up is news that really took SmackDown by storm, and Shanti shaved her hair as a response to Bayley and Io cutting off the end of Shanti's hair. Also, the reason behind this, if people don't already know it yet, or people haven't been looking on the internet, is because Shanti's sister is undergoing chemo for a cancer, and also I would want to wish all the best wishes for Shanti's sister, and we are praying for you. I believe that there's a donation thing going on, and if you guys go on Mia Yim's Twitter, you guys can donate there. But obviously, Shanti cutting off her hair, I love this gimmick change, and I feel like Shanti, and I can't wait to see what's next for Shanti, because I think we're up for probably the best Shanti yet. Next up is a match that's happening next week on SmackDown, and the winner of this match will face Santos Escobar, who the winner of that match will probably face Austin Theory at SummerSlam for the U.S. title. And there's only one man from these four that deserves to win, LA Knight, in that absolute banging render. Obviously, LA Knight needs to win. He needs to progress to SummerSlam, and he needs to take that title off a man who has ruined the U.S. title, Austin Theory. Next up, in WWE 2K news, Sami Zayn's Worlds Apart theme is also returning, or not really returning, but going into WWE 2K23 in the next patch update, or when the next DLC comes out, the Bray Wyatt DLC. But obviously, it's great to see. I mean, Sami Zayn's Bloodline theme is kind of boring, especially in WWE 2K. So having Sami Zayn's theme, and also it being one of the best themes in WWE, it's a big game changer for universe mode people like myself. Also, this picture of Triple H and Paul Heyman from Money in the Bank, just wanted to drop it. Just wanted to drop pure cinema. Two of the best minds in WWE history having a little convo. But, and I want to end off the video saying I am officially going to my first WrestleMania. And my goodness, finally, I am going to WrestleMania. WrestleMania 40, I'm officially going to. If you guys want to say congrats in the comments, you guys can go ahead. But that's been it. That is the Wrestling Roundup video. Hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you guys for the Monday Night Raw review tomorrow night.